Quartz, and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that I've been given the pleasure to introduce myself to you, I'm Vanessa and I, and welcome to the fam. As we have already established by the title, today's reading is about your love life in 2020. And while love can be a difficult, scary, as well as interesting topic, I want us to keep this reading really fun, really lighthearted, and very enjoyable, if you know what I mean. So we are going to be talking about the good, the bad, the opportunities, the challenges, but just in a fun way, you know what I mean? So in order to help you figure out exactly what is going on in your love life in the year of 2020, so for today's pick a card reading, I have prepared 4 groups that you can choose from, and the 4 groups are as follows. I have the red Jasper prepared for you, the orange Calcite, the green Quartz, as well as the black Obsidian. The timestamps are down below in the description box, as well as in the comment section. I always post them there for all of you watching my readings on my mobile devices, because I know that is the majority of you guys. I'm all up in my analytics, in case you have not yet noticed. So yeah guys, I want to keep today's intro very short. I want to spend more time within your readings, so I'm going to be starting off with the first group, which corresponds to the red Jasper. And for all the other groups, I will catch you in your individual readings. Hello, hi, group number 1, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the red Jasper. Group number 1, this is in fact a very gorgeous mineral that correlates really well to love, nurturing feelings, taking care of other people. But I want to get into your reading to figure out exactly what is going on in the year 2020 for you and your love life. Let's get into your pick a card reading, shall we? I will be picking cards intuitively from my 3 decks, as you can see right here. So sit back and enjoy. First and foremost, we have the Eagle. So in communion, I see a time where you're able to enjoy other people's company without there necessarily needing to be like a big love interest, okay? I see strong friendships forming in 2020, as well as just this feeling of satisfaction of being friends with somebody regardless of, as I said, whether there is a romantic interest there or not. Another thing that I see is just a deeper understanding of all living beings, of all creatures, of everybody's struggles. You know, you'll understand more that maybe that guy that chatted you up in the bar or in the club or catcalled you on the street is just trying his luck. You know, obviously this is just an example. This can go any other type of way. I'm just saying that you will feel more compassionate and think to yourself, look, we're all struggling, we're all trying to find love, we're all trying to be loved, so I'm just gonna keep it moving and stay positive. Then in the lotus flower, I see things unfolding for you, and that may be a relationship, it may be just getting close to somebody, if you will. The lotus flower is kind of mysterious, so opening up to somebody, that is one of the things that I see coming for you. Somebody also sharing things that are very close to their heart with you because they feel like they can trust you. So trust is one of the things that I see here for 2020 in your love life, as well as strength. You know, the mountain just shows that the fact that you can open up is not weakness and is not you basically just telling somebody your whole life story, but it is in fact strength. Strength of not like fearing for somebody making you feel inadequate because you know your emotions are valid. So these cards jumped out. You guys know I don't just put them back in the deck. No, okay, this is a sign and I want to figure out exactly what's going on here. We have the Milky Way as well as ancestors. I definitely feel like you will shift your perspective. I feel like you may actually move a little bit away from what your friends and family expected from you. Maybe they expected you to marry somebody who is, I don't know, say wealthy, somebody who is particularly good looking, and you're kind of going to drift away from that just because you realize that other things are so much more important to you than say looks or financial status, social status, whatever it is. As I said, these could be multiple different combinations. And just this shift in perspective will open up so much for you spiritually as well as emotionally, because when you're not focused so much on appearances, that is when you can truly get to know other human beings. And whether it ends up in a romantic relationship or, as we spoke about in the Eagle, and just being kind to each other, being friends, but nothing else being there, then that's fine for you too. I see that you're appreciative of just getting to know other good, kind human beings, but love is definitely something that could be in the cards for you, as we spoke about in the lotus flower, just getting closer to another person, unfolding, allowing just your emotions to talk. Then in the fox spirit, I see that things are going to be moving really quickly, and often that is a sign for love. You know how at the beginning in love, sometimes things just happen really quickly and you're moving at a pace that scares you, And stepping on the brakes is sometimes really not a bad idea, especially when you know that things are just moving at a lightning pace where you cannot possibly know each other well enough to sort of already be spending this much time with each other. And I know this is like a really weird explanation, but when you spend too much time with each other at the beginning of the relationship, it can take a little bit of like the magic away. It can take a little bit of the excitement away, because you get to know each other really well really quickly, but at the same time you don't know each other that well because you're just spending maybe way too much intimate time and not enough time getting to know the core of the person and talking to the other person. Then in the flamingo spirit, I want you to embrace those beginning stages. Okay, group number 1, for you next year, there's definitely love interest here. There's definitely a situationship that you're figuring out. And I want you to embrace the phases where you're apart, where you're both doing your own thing, and where you're not sort of just like clinging together like so, if you know what I mean. Just allow each and every stage to be enjoyed, especially the beginning stage where it's like you're seeing somebody, but you also still have your own life. It's not quite clear what's going on. Just enjoy being that object of another person's desire, being what another human being wants. Then we have the cat spirit. Remain independent during that time. That is so important for you, group number 1. Don't lose your independence. Don't move too quickly into a relationship in 2020, just because that will result in you losing your independence, and you may actually start to become more and more anxious the more you feel like you're bound to somebody, you're clinging on to another human being. And in the koi fish spirit, I want you to know that even if something works out for you at the beginning of the year 2020 and you end up not really vibing like that, you end up not really finding this true love, this true commitment, know that there's always enough. There's plenty of fish in the sea. There's plenty of koi, which are very valuable fish. There are plenty of people who are koi fish to you in this ocean, in this sea, in this pond, whatever you want to call it. And it is so important for you to know that if one thing doesn't work out, the next thing is already lining up for you. You're not bound to be alone forever. You're the kind of person that can move on and really easily just find somebody else because you're easy to get along with. You're strong, you're open-minded, you're able to shift your perspective, and that makes you a highly adaptable human being, group number 1. Then we have the 8 of crystals. So I see progress, and I also see kind of like stubbornness. So don't be stubborn in love. That could be kind of like your downfall, not wanting to admit to yourself that something is maybe not quite working out the way you'd want it to work out, or maybe you don't get along quite as good as you're trying to tell yourself you get along. But that is just like a very personal thing. That is where you have to have that conversation with yourself, with your soul, with the deepest and most inner form of you, and just tell yourself, okay, maybe this isn't for me, maybe this isn't working out, I think I need to move on. Then in the 9 of feathers, I see that that will leave you feeling empowered because you will know that you have not settled for less. So the 9 of feathers is a card that indicates kind of like a lot of self-respect, and that is one thing that a lot of people admire about you, group number 1, the fact that you respect yourself so much that you're not just going to deal with a relationship, with a situationship that you know you don't deserve or you're not actually happy in. Keep that going. 2020 is a year of empowerment for you in love. You will settle for nothing less than you deserve, and you're not going to be afraid. You have the strength. You don't mind if you're not doing exactly what your family or society is dictating for you to do. You're doing what makes you happy in love, all while enjoying platonic relationships and relationships that are just here for amazing conversations and mental stimulation. So group number 1, you are on a great track. Do not worry about your love life in 2020. I do truly hope that this reading gave you a little bit of peace of mind, maybe a little bit of inspiration and motivation. If it did, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up down below. And if this is in fact the first time that you've tuned into my channel and you enjoyed this reading, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. I mean, you completed an entire reading. Who are we kidding? Stick around and I'll see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello, group number 2, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the orange calcite, group number 2, and I want to get straight into your reading about your love life in the year 2020. I have 3 decks for you that I will intuitively be picking the cards from. So we have not prepared a thing as usual. I mean, what else is new? But we're just going to be talking about what's going on. Let's just have fun with it. we have the spring equinox, so a rebirth, okay? You're going to completely change who you are when it comes to love and when it comes to relationships. Group number 2, maybe so far you've been the one who's been nurturing, who's been caring, the one who's sort of been the giver, but maybe now that's gonna change. Maybe now you're gonna tell yourself, you know what, I've given enough. Right now, I just wanna receive. I just wanna be the one who is enjoying the benefits of a relationship that is more balanced than the ones I've been in the past. Another thing in rebirth is that I see being close to earth, being close to sort of like groundedness, if you will. Like this rebirth is not one that is going to put you completely up on a cloud and in the air with a huge ego. This is a rebirth keeping you close to ground as well as connecting you to earth signs. Then in the ceremony and invocation, one thing that I see is that you kind of need to like give this a little bit of time, this development. You have to allow it to blossom at its own pace. I see that it may take a little bit of, how should I say, help from you, where you just tell yourself, you know what, I am deserving of this. I don't need to settle for what I don't want to settle for. And right now, yes, it's completely fine. There's so many men and women, just people out there who are more on the receiving end in relationships sometimes. And maybe now that's what I want to do. And in the autumnal equinox, I see that you're going to release any form of guilt, because sometimes we don't even realize how uncomfortable we are receiving compliments, receiving people doing things for us, and just being the one that is taken care of. But I see you sort of like releasing those feelings because they no longer serve you. Let's be real. They've only put you in toxic situations where you've just been the one giving, and you haven't received very much in return. So life is always a give and take situation, and that is a realization that you're going to be coming to. In the waterfall, I see an effortless year in love. Okay, things are just going to flow, but I also see in the waterfall that things can at times be a little bit much to handle. Okay, it can at times become kind of like overwhelming, if you will, and it may almost make you feel like, oh my god, what did I get myself into in love here? It could be that you're going on dates and all of a sudden you have a lot of people in your DMs and your messages trying to hang out with you, even though you kind of knew that it wasn't the thing after the first date. And it's just going to take a little bit of how should I say, a little bit of time for other people to understand that you're just moving at your pace, you're just doing your thing. If it fits, it fits. If it does not, then you will have to move on. You're not here to just hang around and play games with people. Then in the Queen of Acorns, okay, we have somebody who's outspoken, as I said, being honest, as well as somebody who is very passionate and creative. So I feel like when it comes to love, this sort of fiery energy is what surrounds you. You may not be of a fire sign. The person in question may not be of a fire sign, you know, the person that you're going to spend time with in love in 2020. But one thing that I see here is just a fire sign type of energy, that type of confidence, that type of just going out there and not being afraid of what other people may think, and just following your passion regardless of whether other people understand or not. And the same goes for your love life, okay? Your love life has a lot to do with passion, and sometimes people don't understand. For instance, if you're really into creating a content, okay, media, and somebody that you're seeing, that you're dating, just doesn't get it, that is something that you're passionate about that they don't understand. Or if you're, for instance, really into singing, acting, drawing, and they just take zero interest, that is one thing that I see you not really tolerating, where you're just gonna sort of like leave the room, okay? The unicorn has left the chat, and you're going to move on to a situation where you know that your talents and your passions are appreciated and taken seriously. Then we have the Page of Acorns. In the Page of Acorns, I see sort of like a new beginning, okay? I see you figuring out a new thing that you're really into in love. So it could be a new kind of like person, a new physical trait. Maybe all of a sudden you're into beards or long hair or small waists, anything that has to do with physicalities as well as just traits in somebody's personality. Maybe all of a sudden you like somebody who is more mature, or maybe someone who is more playful. I see you sort of like opening your mind to a plethora of different possibilities in love, and just this new exciting thing, okay? You may have been a little narrow-minded in love before without even noticing it, and not on purpose, group number 2, but it kept you in this little confined space where you never really got to meet the kind of person that you're now attracted to, the kind of person that you now want to spend more time with. And I see that that is just going to be like a playground, a completely new experience that is keeping you on your toes and is just exciting. Each and every day of your love life is going to be exciting like this. And then we have the moth spirit. So just surrendering to what you truly want. As we spoke about, you may have deprived yourself of what you truly want in the past and what you truly find attractive and sexy for multiple reasons. I mean, we live in a day and age where things like racism is still well and alive, where things like classism, I'm not sure what it's called in English, but you guys get what I mean, where like people of different social classes should basically not mix up is what we are told. Just, you know, different things that constrict us, that confine us to only a very small demographic of people in love, not only friendship, but also in love. And I see you breaking those boundaries and just stepping outside of the comfort zone. And it doesn't really matter whether, you know, you meet like your twin flame instantly. Just the fact that you're getting out there just makes you so much happier and so much more interested in the world and in life in general. Then in the hummingbird spirit, you have to be here right now. I see that the year 2020 may have the tendency for you to be a little bit all over the place, to where you forget what's actually happening in the here and now, to where you forget to actually take a little bit of time to enjoy each and every moment as like its own thing. You know, everything just sort of melting together is a tendency that I see for 2020. You know, when you had a year where a lot of things happen, but somehow it still feels like it's just one like clump of a year. That is where I see the tendency heading to, for maybe amazing reasons, maybe reasons of you just skimming through things really quickly. Then in the dove spirit, okay, we have a lot of flying creatures here in the dove spirit. We have peace, okay, being at peace with your love life, as well as clearing out the clutter. So clearing out any toxic exes that are constantly trying to come back, you know, deleting that number, and when they text you, not even saying new number, who this, just staying completely silent, okay, being at peace and knowing that you don't need to play those games, because sometimes we tell ourselves that we're over it, but like when they text us, we're still kind of like playing the game a little bit. You guys know what I'm saying. But clearing out that kind of clutter is so you in 2020. Okay, you're so mature, you're so like forward thinking, to the point where you're empowered enough to say, I don't need that. Okay, there's so many amazing people out there. Like, that is what I'm going to be focusing on. Then we have the coyote spirit, and last but not least, the parrot spirit. So one thing that I see here is that your love life will take you in many different directions that may seem like detours, okay? You may feel like sometimes you're taking steps back. So if you really, really want to get married, to find a twin flame, to have that proposal of your dreams, and you meet people and it's not working out and you feel like you're taking steps back, I want you to know that those are often divine detours by the universe, okay? So be careful for what you wish for. That is what I see in the parrot spirit. The more you sort of like curse the situation that you're in, you curse, like for instance, your ex coming back up, you know, trying to text you and get with you again, or you curse the situation of not finding the right person right at the beginning of 2020, feeling like, oh my God, I'm never gonna get to this proposal, I'm never gonna get to this family that I want to start with somebody. The more you sort of feed into that, the more that is going to come true. But the more you just don't resist the path that you're going down, the more the universe is going to be able to take you through these detours that are going to teach you valuable lessons about people and who you are in relationships. But at the end of the day, you're going to get to where you need to be, to where you want to be, just in time, you know, just at the right time. But as I said, your words, your thoughts are so powerful. So if you spend more time thinking to yourself that love is maybe hopeless or love is not properly working out, then guess what's going to happen? It's not going to properly work out. But if you spend the majority of your time, all your time, just thinking to yourself how, things are just going to work out for the better. You're just going to go with the flow. You're going to have fun with it. Then that is when, in the most unexpected moments, your twin flame, your soulmate, is going to pop up, and love is going to get to a point where you've always wanted it to be. So group number 2, this is a reading that I received for you. I truly hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that it gave you a little bit of peace of mind, maybe inspiration. Either way, let me know down in the comment section. And if you are new to my channel and you made it all the way up until the end of this reading, make sure that you subscribe. Who are we kidding? You belong in the unicorn fam. You've officially been adopted, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the green quartz. I mean, may there be an earth sign moving into your life in the year of 2020, or maybe it's just your energy that is hyped up. Maybe you're an earth sign. I mean, I don't want to say too much. Let's get into your reading. I'm just intuitively going to be picking from my 3 decks in order to figure out exactly what is happening in your love life in the upcoming year. So first and foremost, we have the mountain. So in the mountain, I definitely see something forming that cannot be like shaken very easily. So this could be a relationship. This could also be a mindset of yours. So it could be a mindset of, for instance, never putting up with what you don't deserve ever again. It could also be, as I said, a relationship that is so strong that it's probably going to last for a very, very long amount of time. But let's get further into your reading to figure out a little bit more about this situation. We have the crow spirit. I see that you have to invite your spirits in to co-create with you. I feel like one of the things that you're maybe lacking right now is just putting yourself out there spiritually and just allowing the universe to do its thing. Maybe right now you're a bit too controlling over love, or you're just trying to pre-plan too much, or you have a very fixed idea of where you're trying to go, but you just need to let it happen. You need to allow the spirit to co-create with you, which means giving your spirit guides a little bit of freedom to just guide you in the right direction. Then in the horse spirit, freedom is yours. I see that by you giving your spirit guides freedom to create, that will give you more freedom. And let me tell you why. That is because you're not going to be so worried anymore. You're not going to be so caught up in pre-planning and thinking about the what ifs in your love life, because those are the real sort of killers. Those are the real things that keep us confined and scared and anxious about, oh my God, what's happening next in love. So allow freedom to come your way. Then in love, obviously, this is a sign that love is coming for you. Maybe a relationship that is going to be that forever relationship. And I want you to know that love has a lot to do with compassion and just understanding that other human beings oftentimes have other needs than we do. And just compassion is allowing others to live their life according to what makes them happy, even if we don't get it, okay? That is genuine compassion. Understanding that each and every living being has the right to live its life the way it sees fit, and us not judging, us not trying to intervene, but just allowing it to be, okay? Compassion, that is one thing that I see for you. Then in the lizard spirit, we have dreaming the world into being. So I feel like your manifestation is going to actually start to work. I feel like everything that you've been trying to pull closer into your life is going to come right to you. I feel like there's nothing really left in love that you're going to be wishing for by the end of 2020, but it may take a little bit of time depending on how easily you allow your spirit guides, the universe, to co-create with you. So make sure that you're not getting in your own way. I see you as like your biggest enemy, you being your biggest obstacle and challenge, just letting go and allowing things to happen. Then in the Knight of Crystals, I see somebody who is really strong, somebody who has a good head on their shoulders. This could potentially be the person that you are going to be with, who is going to build this strong foundation with you, who is going to be in this lasting relationship that you can't really deny is here to stay. And furthermore, I also see determination. I see that they really want to be with you. This may be a completely new experience for you. Somebody who isn't afraid to say, look, I really love you. I really want to be with you, and I want to try everything to make this work. So in love, I definitely see a very pure form of love and not a situation where games are being played. So don't be surprised when that happens, and know that the person that you're meant to be with in 2020 is determined to stay. They're going to fight for you. They're going to make sure they're there for you, and they want to show you how much they care about you. Then in transformation, I see that this will be kind of like a transition from single life into being with another person, which will lead to you feeling a lot more liberated and a lot more yourself. Okay, group number 3, I feel like you're the kind of person who is sort of like meant to be in a partnership. You function really well in a group setting. Maybe you're kind of like an introvert and you don't like crowds, but functioning with another human being in a team of 2, that is your thing. That is where you can make things happen, where you can go on fun adventures and really enjoy life. So this is going to give you sort of like a sense of freedom. Okay, some people, when they're in a relationship, they need more freedom, as in more alone time, more time to themselves, because they're so often with another human being. But with you, group number 3, I see the exact opposite. I feel like you're going to feel liberated by knowing that you're with somebody who you can trust, and somebody who you can be in a room with and it's completely silent for hours, but it's not awkward because you're just both doing your thing and you just really click with each other. That's when you know that a relationship is legit, when you can be hanging out, not saying anything, and it's not awkward and it doesn't feel awkward. Keep that in mind. Then in the 6 of Acorns, I see success, I see a triumphant time. So you're going to come out of 2020 thinking to yourself, this was a successful AF year in my love life. This was the year, okay, 2020, it's a beautiful round number, and it was just meant to be, okay? There are things happening for you that you will remember forever. Then in the High Priestess, I want you to follow your intuition, but also consult into somebody's knowledge, somebody who may be older than you. Okay, the High Priestess holds sacred knowledge. And yes, of course, you can hold sacred knowledge, but at the same time, you can also get that knowledge from somebody who has more experience in relationships and love, and just confide in them. Ask them what they feel like the next step is, and ask them, you know, whether your intuition is telling you the right thing or whether it's in fact not your intuition that you're listening to, but your fears. Then we have the Moon, more about your intuition, as well as the Hermit. So in the Moon, I definitely see like the fact that your perception has a lot to do with just your instinct, with how you feel. So make sure that nothing is clouding your judgment, okay? Especially in love, I don't want you to miss out on this fabulous opportunity, on this amazing person that is coming into your life, on this person who is very goal focused, who, as I said, has a good head on their shoulders and just has their life together, okay? This is a perfect sort of match for you, and I don't want you to miss out. So make sure that you're not like drinking excessively, that you're not eating super unhealthy foods that are going to mistaken your intuition for maybe fear and anxiety, because guess what? When you don't feel good in your body, then a lot of the times anger, fear, frustration, anxiety is what is actually speaking, and not you and not your intuition. So get yourself on track, okay? And in the Hermit, I want you to know that you will take time to contemplate, and that will give you a sort of stronger sense of when things are right and when things are probably just an illusion. So getting yourself together, making sure that you don't have anything in your system that is clouding your judgment or that is getting in between you, your intuition, knowing exactly what's going on, and just being connected to your body. I see that that is going to give you that knowledge about yourself that you need in order to figure out exactly what the next steps are in love. So I know it's like a long chain reaction, but it's a lot of little pieces that come together in love for you in 2020. And take time to contemplate, okay, now is the time to embrace the Hermit. Now is the time for you to just be by yourself, just like this little koala here in the tree. And don't be afraid to take just a lot of time to yourself right now, because as I said, this togetherness, this relationship is coming towards you, and you may miss your alone time a little bit, even though you feel very comfortable being in a relationship. So enjoy it while it lasts, group number 3. And I hope that this reading was insightful. I hope that you found it encouraging as well as motivational. And if you ended up watching all the way until this point in the reading and you're new to my channel, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, because you know it's obvious. We just vibe. And for all my existing beautiful little unicorns, thank you so much for tuning into my reading. I hope you have a fabulous day or night wherever you are in this world, and I will see you in my next video. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Black Obsidian group number 4. So I don't want to waste any time. I want to figure out exactly what is happening in your life in the year of 2020. So let's get right into the reading. As usual, I'm going to be doing this very intuitively, and I just want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy. Okay, so first and foremost, we have the new moon. So I see promises being made. I see that the new moon is going to come with regeneration. I see that it's going to come with a situation of trust, and promise has a lot to do with trust. Promise could also be a promise in love, maybe a promise to love each other forever. I mean, maybe you're gonna get married next year. This is definitely an indication of something coming closer to a very big commitment. And in the tree, I definitely see being grounded. I see being like with one person, staying in the same spot. So group number 4, you may have not expected this whatsoever, but I definitely see this sort of being in a relationship and not straying, kind of knowing where you belong, and that is your spot, that is your home, that is the soil in which you feel the most comfortable, you know, just being with the people who you love and just being with this person in love that you trust, that you have made this commitment to, or that has made this commitment to you. Then in the lizard spirit, I want you to know that if right now it seems like it's worlds away, you can dream this into reality. You don't have to just wish and hope and just sit there and wait. You can actually dream and manifest things into reality. So of course, there needs to be a little bit more work done than just saying, oh, I just hope that somebody is going to come into my life next year, who's going to propose to me and want to get married to me. Okay, no, it's going to be a little more work than that, but also not that much work. Okay, just manifesting and writing things down in the right now, telling yourself, I am in a relationship, I am happily married, I am engaged. Those are all ways how you can manifest, how you can actually make these things come into reality a lot more easily, because the universe, you know, all the energy that you're putting out there already corresponds to the situation that you desire. And in the frog spirit, I see you clearing out anything that doesn't serve you in love. And I feel like that has a lot to do with this negative self-belief of, oh, I'm never going to get the wedding that I desire. I'm never going to get the ring that I've always wanted. I'm never going to be with my dream human being. So letting go of that, shedding that, that is one thing that I see happening for you. In the autumnal equinox, we have a release. So this goes together really well with the frog spirit. Just the fact that it's over in 2020, okay? It's over this time of being by yourself, of being in a situation that you don't want to be in. You're just going to snap out of it and know that there are amazing things coming for you, and there are amazing things coming for you. I mean, we have it confirmed, verified within your reading, but at the beginning, it may be still a little difficult, a little rocky to change your mindset from being unsure to knowing that life has amazing things for you in stock for your love life. Then in the meadow, I see that putting yourself out there is going to make you feel vulnerable, okay? Vulnerability is one thing that makes you feel scared, but at the same time is also something that makes you very attractive. I see that this person who is going to give you this promise knows that you put yourself in a vulnerable position by speaking to them about what you truly desire, about your dreams, your aspirations, your goals, and they are not going to let you down on it. They are actually going to surprise you really positively by giving you that commitment, that engagement, that marriage, whatever it is that you truly desire. And maybe it's actually adopting like a puppy or a kitty. Okay, don't ask me why I just threw that into the reading, but yes, okay, that sort of commitment is one thing that I see that you will feel like, wow, okay, I'm safe in this person's presence. I'm safe when I tell them what I want, what my dreams are, because they're never going to turn their back on me. They're never going to use it against me. They just actually want to help fulfill these dreams, which is just like an awesome feeling to have, group number 4. So let's see what else we have. We have transformation. So I definitely see you transcending from being by yourself to a relationship status. I see you transcending into a situation where you feel like maybe liberation is one thing that pops into your head, where you feel like, okay, now I can finally be myself, because with this person, no matter how vulnerable I am, they still appreciate me, they still love me, they still try and make sure that I feel safe, and that is going to make you feel free to just be yourself, which is one thing that a lot of us are not able to do with every single human being out there. And then in the Knight of Shells, I see this person being super charming as well as passionate. So this person may be of a water sign that is coming into your life that you're going to be with. They are probably very emotional, but still kind of like in a controlled way, if you know what I mean. Also, being physical is very important to them. They are passionate in the bedroom. They're very much interested in somebody who likes being physical and who will give them that closeness that they need. Then we have the shadows. So in the shadow, one thing that I see is you trying to empower yourself all throughout 2020, especially because of the fact that maybe at the beginning, it could be a little rocky, it could be a little difficult, it can be challenging to the point where you're not sure if you've made the right decisions, if you've made the right moves, or if you actually just hurt yourself more than you ever anticipated. So allow yourself to already sort of program your mind to knowing that with the ambition to succeed in love, to have the love life that you always desired to have, that is how you can empower yourself up to a vibration where you can attract somebody who has a vibration that is just as empowered as yours, so you can be in a healthy relationship. Whereas if your vibration is very low, if you're kind of like in the victim mode, you will attract somebody who is looking for a victim, which often ends up in toxic situations. So be wary of that. Last but not least, we have the shaman. So in the shaman, I see a lot of spiritual power, okay? And I feel like your spiritual power is what is going to lead to fulfillment, what is going to lead to this promise. So group number 4, in your love life, I mean, I constantly spoke about this connection, this relationship, this being together, this promise. I want you to know that if your goal is actually to just figure out more about yourself, whether another human being is involved and you're in a relationship or not, then I want you to know that this spiritual power is what is going to get you there. You may actually make a very powerful promise to yourself that you're going to keep. You know, the discipline, the determination to be who you've always wanted to be, more compassionate, maybe more sort of knowledgeable of the things that interest you, maybe just more of a role model, more of somebody who is mature and has their emotions under control. I see all of that happening for you, and just overall, when it comes to your love life, a successful time for you, group number 4. So I hope that this reading sort of gave you a little bit of ease. I hope you're gonna sleep well tonight after this reading, group number 4. And if you're new to my channel and you made it all the way up to this part of the reading, who are we kidding? Subscribe to my channel and I will see all you beautiful little unicorns in one of my upcoming videos.